All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Titan Talks. I'm the co-founder of Titan Strength Academy, Roy, and I've got a special guest today with me, Anthony from Brutal Fitness and Nutrition. It's good to have Anthony on today because we both had like completely different backgrounds, but we've both ended up on a similar path. Why don't you just give everyone a quick introduction about yourself?
Right, so I about 12 months ago, I found out I was getting in quite a bit of trouble, and when I started getting into the gym, I've been into the gym for a couple of years, and I decided to do my personal training course. What was going well, and as I've moved away, later on I've ended up having a family, a little girl. So through going down the wrong path, it's put me onto the right path. So hopefully I can help. My plan is to help other people, whatever their problem is, if it's to do with gym work, to do with troubled pasts. So my knowledge and my experience, I believe, is a good drive from a business.
Yeah, so we'll talk more about that in a bit, but right now we know each other from primary school, and we was like both completely different people, aren't we? Like personalities in that. So I'm like this shy, scrawny little kid in primary school who, whenever I finished school, I'd go home and play video games all night, and then come to school, and, just get on with it. And you were quite the opposite, weren't you? Really?
Yeah.
You've got some funny stories.
I remember, like we were saying the other day when you rang me for the first time, I've not seen you for a very long time, and I've still got a photo of me and you with 5, 6 others. We must have been, about 12, just as we were leaving school outside that big dome in Blackpool. And, it's crazy, mate, how we've got, I've got a few friends that I've been very friends with a long time, that's all coming into my fitness world, with me supporting them and them supporting me. And, it's good to see someone who I've grew up with, I've known most of my life, we've got the same interests, and, it's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, it's amazing how fitness can bring people together, because it never used to be like with me and you. Like back in primary school, I used to avoid you because your behavior was so unpredictable on it. Because you've got some funny stories about primary school, haven't you? Like, didn't you break a teacher's leg or something?
Yeah, so listen, school wasn't my thing. I used to hate PE in school, so the teachers could never get me to do it. And, there was a time when they were trying to get me out. It's kicked off. When they've tried to grab me, I've obviously launched out with my leg that's ended up breaking the teacher's leg. That, these teachers as well, I've bumped into later on in life. And I've said, look, listen, I'm sorry how I behaved when I was in school. Because my daughter now, if she behaved like that in school, I'd be hitting the roof, mate.
You've got it all to come, mate. If she gets your genes in there, you've got it all to come, haven't you? Really?
Listen, I said to my missus, if she's got my genes, she's going back.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well,
yeah,
what else? I'm trying to think what else. We were in the same class for years, and the time when I won't mention what I brought into school, but I brought some things into school, and I think that was the step too far.
Can you not mention what they were?
Well, my dad used to have a shotgun license, so I used to buzz off him having shots and that. So one day I went in, I was young, so I ended up getting the shotgun shells, and he had a 12 gauge, and so 12 gauge shotgun shells. So I took a bag in with him to show my mates to try it act cool. Then one day I went out of the class and I was bouncing them on the floor. Don't get it wrong, I know it was the most stupidest idea ever. And I wouldn't condone and wouldn't brag or tell people to do it because I realised how dangerous it was as I grew up. And I remember my mum come to the school. I was put in the headmaster's office. She was wasn't it Mr. Red?
Something like that, yeah. I used to call him Mr. Red, so...
Yeah. So then, when I sat in the office, my mum's there, the police have turned up. I'm thinking, oh no, my mum's going mad. I think I was grounded for about 3 months.
I wonder why. It's funny though, because you say you did it to act cool in front of your mates, but like I don't remember that day. So it's funny, isn't it? How like you think you're doing something to like act so cool, but nobody even remembers.
You know what? I mean? It was one lad, and I can't remember who it is. I could think that it's one person, yeah, but I don't really chat to him no more, and I honestly can't remember. But like I used to say to my mum, I was like, "Oh, you remember when I bring the bullets into school?" And the headmaster rang you. She's like, "Ah, don't remind me. Don't remind me."
Yeah, I mean, I bet that's something she'll never forget, to be fair. Yeah, cause it's funny because like you're getting in trouble for like shotgun shells and breaking teachers' legs, and like I used to get in trouble for my handwriting.
Like, yeah. Hey, I still get in trouble for my handwriting now.
Yeah, so do I. I can't read my handwriting to save my life, but yeah, it's just like, it's just how completely different we were. Like, you're getting in trouble for breaking legs, and I was scared to submit my work because I'm going to get in trouble again for my handwriting. Like, it's completely different. So like what happened after primary school, because that's when we sort of went our separate ways, because like for me in high school was where I started finding my feet, coming out of my shell. It's when I found fitness, I started developing my own personality. We went separate ways. So what happened to like you?
So I ended up, when I left the school that we were at, I went to a school in Fleetwood. I ended up going there, and I remember once I was put on report, and he had to behave for a week to go Alton Towers, and I got one negative report on the Friday, and the woman turned around to me and said, "Oh, you're not going Alton Towers," and I hit the roof. So I ended up kicking off there, where she ended up getting it, and I just completely lost it. But then I was suspended. They let me back, and I found myself, when I sit and think about it now, yeah, I found myself getting bullied all the time, and I didn't have a clue why. It was just I couldn't mix or focus with people. I didn't have that. I'd say cockiness and that gift of the gab like I've got now.
Mm-hmm.
I could, back in school, year 7 and 8, someone could say something to me and my tail between my legs because I wouldn't know how to react. I wouldn't know what to do. Now I'm like, yeah, mate, there's no need for that. Carry on doing what you're doing. You ain't bothering me, so keep going, mate. It's crazy. All my school past, I went from school to school. Just, I say to my missus all the time, if I could see myself now, I wish that I focused in school. I didn't get no GCSEs. I didn't get no qualifications. All my qualifications is what I got, where I've ended up what we'll go on to soon. But apart from that, mate, it's mad that, I feel proud that I've come from that life. And I'm on the straight and narrow now from the school. I see kids messing around in school, getting kicked out all the time. And, if I could show them me back then and me now, it's not worth it, mate. It's completely different.
Yeah, it is, yeah. So, like, you're saying that you was a target, do you think that was because of your behaviour? You said you felt bullied, but do you reckon people knew how you react, so they started to egg it on a bit, trying to get a reaction out of you?
There was some, people my age, I always seem to, there was one kid, And I've got a lot of time for the kid now, but he used to bully me left, right, and centre. And then he changed when I wrapped him up with a baseball bat in PE. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? The kid was just, he hit me, and I was like, listen, I had the bat in my hand. I said, if you hit me again, I'm going to hit you with this. So he hit me again. So the only thing I felt to do was just wrap it round him. And, you know, the word spread like wildfire, but it was the wrong impression that people were getting.
I wonder what made him change after you hit him with a baseball bat.
100%. You know, I went into school, another kid that was bullying me. I was sat in foot registration. I can't remember who the kid was either. And my dad had a taser. I don't ask why he had a taser, but I took that in because I was like, listen, I'm sick of getting bullied. I don't want this no more. So I'm gonna do something to stop kids from bullying me. So as soon as he was gonna say something, I was gonna zap him, and I was brought into the headmaster's office. Fucking police. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear then. Police come. You know, I ended up finding myself in trouble again. So that was the end of that school. And then I got sent to a naughty boys school where, you know, you'd walk through the front doors and you'd get metal detected to make sure you didn't have nothing on you. And I used to think, wow, that was a school in near Lancaster. They used to come pick me up. You used to walk through and you just used to put your arms out. They would put a metal detector around you to make sure you had no, because kids were coming in with knives. And you just think, wow, is this really what life's about?
Yeah, that's crazy. That sounds like the schools in America kind of thing, don't it? You know, when they have to go through metal detectors now. But yeah, that's quite bad. Especially, how old were you when this was? This high school time?
This was high school time, so I must have been year 9, 10.
Oh, so later on, yeah.
Yeah. So sorry about that. My missus was calling me. She must be wondering where I am. Can you give me 1 sec, mate?
Yeah, no worries.
No worries, mate. Sorry about that, mate.
Yeah, it's alright, mate. I'll just try and edit that bit out. So like I said, high school was where I started coming out of my shell. Like, I found fitness in high school. Like, I remember my cousin, he brought me into, I think the show Contender was on. Do you remember that? The boxing? And he brought me in and he was like, oh yeah, I think you'd make a good boxer. And like, from that day, you know, that's when I started getting into my fitness. I started punching my nan's wall, I think. You know, jab, jab, right hooks.
Right, okay. Hold on 1 sec, mate. I can't hear you now.
You lost audio?
Yeah, the audio's gone quiet.
Oh, I'm not sure what's happened there. Can you hear me now?
Nah, you're still quiet, mate.
Your phone's not still open, is it? The call thing?
Nah, because it's off.
Don't know, mate. 1 sec. What about now? Is that bad?
Oh, hold on 1 sec. I don't know why it's not working. I should be able to hear you now.
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry, mate.
No, so I don't know. Like I said, we'll just try and edit that out. Yeah, so like high school, like, is when I started to find my fitness, and that's when my life took a turning point, you know, for the better. Because after that, I didn't really know what I was doing. So, you know, that's when I found boxing. Then I stumbled across a college course because, you know, later on in my teens, like, you might not like this, but you know, I wanted to become a cop eventually when I realised I wasn't going to become a professional boxer. So, you know, I wanted to become a cop, and then I found this college course about public services, and it was from there where I stumbled across like nutrition. there's a nutrition little section in that course. Then I nutrition. Then I found my university degree in personal training. So like, I ended up going on to college and university through just fitness and that. But you sort of ended up going to the jail. How did that happen?
Yeah, so in 2011, I was sick of working for people, having no money. So me and a couple of friends at the time, we went down a different path, what led to me doing a long time in prison. So, all of us got together, we were young and dumb, and we thought, come on, I had a few things about me. I thought, come on, we'll go in there and do what we've got to do. And it led to me losing all my late teens and early 20s, spending it in prison.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, like, can you talk more about what happened? You don't need to mention specific crimes, but like when we spoke on the phone, you said the first time you went down, it was for something you didn't do.
Yeah, so I got my in 2011. I got sentenced to my 7 years. So I got out in 2015. When I was in jail, I got in a fight. Well, I wouldn't call it a fight. Some lad was trying to bully me again. I had an argument before we got banged up, and then we went to sleep. As I woke up, I've woke up to his feet in my face, just like laying, trying to battering me. So I thought, I need to do something about this. I can't keep going on with my life like this. So then that's how I first ever went to the gym. I first ever picked up a weight, and it was a good feeling after that first gym session that you ever had. You wanted to see more and progress. I used to see these big kids walking around, nice shape, nice physique. I thought, I want that. So that was where my love of the gym began. Then I got moved to another jail for YOs, what was down near Shropshire. So I was moving all over. I ended up, after a year being there, I got a gym job. I was training with a few big lads, and people used to come up to me and ask me. People wanted to train with me. People wanted to ask me, they could see I was lifting okay weight, and I was natural. There was a lot of steroids going around in jail and a lot of other shit, and people were convinced that it was me that was on him. I was like, listen, mate, nah. I said, I don't touch none of that. So then when people started to see that I was natural, they started to take more of an in-depth look into how I was training. There was a reason to me how I would train. There would be like a logic behind it. So then people wanted to get involved, and I sort of like the attention I was getting.
Yeah, when you're looking pumped and people are asking how you get into that sort of shape and size.
Yeah,
it's a good feeling, isn't it? So okay.
I was getting to the point when I was moving to different jails. I was still doing what I was doing when I was behind the door, because I still got to feed myself. So, I wasn't learning. I had no one there to tell me, it's not worth it. Just stop what you're doing and learn to do something better, because obviously this life ain't treating you no better. So, I was seeing mates go down. I had a few good pals. They started taking drugs in jail, what drugs are floating around in jail, and they turned to the most biggest rats going. And you just think, mate, I said, get off that. I was telling them to get off the drugs. So some would listen, some wouldn't. And then I'm like, listen, mate, you should come to the gym with me. and keep your mind focused, because that's what I would behave in jail and not get in trouble. So I would get my gym, because when you misbehave in jail, you lose your telly, you lose your privileges, and you'd lose the gym if they knew you went to the gym. And that was the only thing I cared about when I was inside, was getting up, eating, going to the gym and going to sleep. That's what kept me focused from so many years. And if someone said I couldn't do nothing, give it a couple of months, I'll start training. And then I'll show them. I'll show them, that weight you said I couldn't lift it. I can come to the gym now and watch me lift it. And I'd lift it with ease. And it was a good feeling that kids were shaking my hand, like, oh, you know what, fair play to you, man. They were starting to listen to me.
Yeah, you do. You get like a different sort of respect when you're training. It's like a different sort of community that if you're not used to it, if you're new to it, or people who observe from the outside, they don't sort of get it, do they? But like, it's like a different sort of community in the gym, innit? And you make new friends, and you've got that competition, but it's friendly competition, isn't it? Like, oh, you can't do that. Or, can you lift this? And then like you find that people help you out as well. Don't they? Oh mate, can I have a spot? And like you got this big beefhead guy, but they turn out dead nice. But you won't speak to them in the street. But in the gym, it's it's completely different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So while you was in prison, apart from excising, were you still like with that criminal sort of mindset? What were you thinking about when you're getting out? Like on the earlier days, not towards the end.
So I ended up getting out in 2015. I met a few contacts while I was inside, so I just started smacking the drugs and selling drugs. People are involved in, I had my fingers in quite a few pies. So like people were going out, I don't want to like put myself in any or indicate myself in any like criminal type of thing, but it's criminality was my lifestyle. Anything
it's
for me to
all
make
you
money.
knew, right? It's all you sort of knew, wasn't it? Because you had no GCSEs, you had no jobs. It was just
of course. Who's a labourer? It's what, £9-10 an hour. I used to see people who was on like decent wages and decent cars, and I thought, oh, I want that, but I just didn't realise how to get it. I thought, I'll carry on doing the way I was doing, and then I'll go get it.
Yeah, because you don't really get taught how to make money in school. Like I found when I left school and college and that, I still didn't really know what I was doing because they don't really teach you that stuff, do they? I happened to stumble across a personal training degree, which sort of led me into the entrepreneurship lifestyle. But even then, it was still a rocky road. Like no one teaches it. So is that how you stumbled across drug dealing? Because it's all you knew.
Yeah, it was like I dabbled in a little bit of it as I was growing up, but nothing like like major, like basically class A's and that. So then I met a good pal who today is one of my good friends. He turned around to me and he said, listen, when you eventually get out, whenever that is, give me a ring. I'll look after you. So the minute I got out, I rang him. I said, look, listen, I need some dough, mate. What, can you help me? I went, yeah, no worries. So he gave me whatever I wanted. It went from there. Then I was at it a couple of months. I ended up on my first recall. That cost me nearly 2 years till I got my parole. That was over a car crash and driving the car. So that was open. The case was open 24 hours, and the case was dismissed because it was nothing to do with me. I was just sitting there. So when I was carrying on doing what I was doing, I got out. They put me on this anger management course and like behaviour thinking course. I weren't too happy about being on it, but I thought, oh, you know what? I'll give it a go, see what happens. The woman that was teaching me has never got a speeding ticket in her life. And she's teaching us that when we get into trouble, if someone hits us, we've got to walk away. And I'm like, listen, love, I said, no one's going to take you seriously because you've never done no jail. You don't even have a record. You know, you don't see it from our point of view when we're on the streets, even messing around. I see these young kids today getting stabbed and killed for the sake of nothing. And, you know, I was stabbed in jail myself. And it's one thing I do not agree with. You know, if you can't use your fists, you shouldn't start a fight or start an argument, because, you know, lives are getting taken so easy at the minute. It's crazy.
Yeah, and going back to that woman, it's just like, I'm guessing this happens like all over the country as well. Like people are teaching anger management who have never been involved in that sort of life, so you can't relate to it or relate to the person teaching it. So then it doesn't change you. It just, I'm guessing it makes you sort of like not respect the course and then just mess around. I'm guessing, is that sort of what happened?
Yeah, 100%. You know, you know, I'm going back a fair few years now, and there must have been about 12 of us on the course. And we you know, they gave us a piece of paper, these two, I think it was two women, if I remember. And they were like, oh, tell me things that make you angry, things that make you want to lash out. And you're writing these down, and then you'd get up in front of the class, and then you would tell, oh, yeah, this is what makes you lash out. And then you go into a bit more depth with it. And then she would start and tell you different ways to go about it. And I'm like, you know, that's all right, you telling us to do that. But in reality, that doesn't happen. You know, I could walk past someone and say, yeah, what are you looking at me? And he's not going to turn around and go, oh, no, I don't want no trouble. I'll walk away. You know, it's going to start a confrontation. And then when the confrontation starts, you know, me personally, pride is a big thing to me. And, you know, a lot of people, pride will always take over. If you can't, I always thought, if someone's been to jail and changed their life around and flipped it around for these young lads, they might take a better listen to than someone who doesn't even swear in a conversation. Me personally, I swear all the time. I do it when I don't even know. Do you know what I mean?
I do it when I don't even know as well. It's you know, it's just part of the vocabulary now, isn't it? It's like,
yeah,
you don't really think
you
about
don't mean no disrespect, but you know, my missus looks at me like when I'm swearing, I'm like, oh no, I didn't know, sorry, and I've got to try and calm it down for my daughter, because I don't want my daughter growing up speaking like me. You know, one of me is enough. I don't need another.
Yeah, I'll vouch for that one as well. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, like, you're in quite a good position now, though. So you could, I think we briefly spoke about this on the phone the other day, but like, you're trying to go down that route now of helping people, you know, who've been to jail find their feet again, aren't you, through what you're doing now through fitness. And like, and it's like, you know, people relate to you. Like me and Tina, my business partner, you know, we don't just do health and fitness, we do mindset as well, and like overcoming adversity and overcoming struggles and that. But we can teach that because we've been through it. You know what I mean? And we can relate to people, you know, especially if we train with a lot of entrepreneurs as well who are going through business, so we can help them out business-wise as well, because we've been through it ourselves, so people can relate to us and, you know, connect to us. Whereas I say, like, if we're giving people mindset advice, but we've never even had a bad day in our life, you know, how can we tell people to, like, just think positively, you know, it doesn't work, does it? You know, if you've not been through it, you don't know how people, you know, you don't know how they feel. You're just reading a textbook, really, aren't you? And it's just not relatable. So you know, you're in like a good position now to, you know, if that's the route you're going down, to sort of help people find their feet again. Of
course, it's like going back to the school days, yeah. When you read a book, if you're just reading it, you don't learn nothing. You know, some people find reading book helps them learn, but when you're doing practical, it's better So if someone's in trouble, like I say to lads all the time who's going out, like one of my good friends, he's back down your way. You know, he got nicked for a shooting a couple of months ago, and I'm like, listen, mate, you should come where I am and just, you know, keep your head down, smack gym with me. You know, you've trained with me back at home, so just move out the way. My mum wanted me to move out of our hometown for years, and I completely refused. And then after this last charge that I received the not guilty on, but because I was doing a job, I just thought, you know what, this ain't my life no more. I don't want it no more. You know, I love the gym. My mate offered me to sell his gym. And I thought, you know what, I want my own gym. So I'm going to work hard for it and put the hours in and put all the determination in to get to where I want to be. And, you know, when I was on my last charge, I was on remand. And I just sat there for hours on hours, day after day, scribbling little ideas down, scribbling little things I can do to become a good business, to become a brand. So, you know, my clothing that we briefly talked about on the phone, you know, when I had the time, I done all that. You know, it took me a couple of weeks to come up with a decent name for my company. I just didn't want nothing like someone would say and they won't think nothing of it. Then, you know, going back to showing these kids, if I can show a lad that I've come from the streets, I know the streets in and out, you know, I speak to a lot of people that are involved in the streets to this day, all over the country. And if I can show, yeah, that was me, but now I've got, you know, my family's not disappointed. I lost my grandparents when I was behind the door. They'll never have the chance to meet my daughter, to see me be successful. And, you know, I'll take that to the grave with me because, you know, it's something that you can never replace. Even close people that you're close to are lost. And, you know, if I can stop a young lad going down the same route as me, taking a life or losing his life or spending even a day behind a prison door, because prison is a university for criminals. So, you know, prison made me worse. So
do you want to elaborate on that a bit? Like, what sort of goes on in prison to make you worse? Like, is it just you're meeting connections and then, like, you're discussing, like, jobs and stuff? Or
so, like, you know, people say it's the criminal university. So you go in, you're meeting contacts, you're meeting good friends, you're also meeting snakes. So there's people that, you know, I met people that were willing enough to throw me probably 100 grand's worth of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, we'll come get that later on. Well, when you've got the dough, we'll come get it, but we want the dough by this date. And I'm like, nah, mate, you know, it's no good to me now. I don't want none of it. Then people are throwing so much drugs onto people. There's only one way out of when they're getting caught, and that's when they're taking their own lives. You know, I had a very good friend that took his own life last week, and I cannot believe it. So now I see photos when his missus, he just had a daughter a couple of months before me, and I see the photos on Instagram. I go through his messages all the time. We were on FaceTime a couple of weeks before he hung himself. And you just think, wow, you know, he could light up any room. And them sort of kids that are hard to come by, that, you know, when you're feeling down, you want someone to make you laugh. He would guarantee to make a joke out of anything. And you'll be sitting there just in stitches and you think, wow, mate. And when I was told the news, I honestly, it rocked me. Because, you know, there was a respected man, a funny man, that's, You know, I'm not saying that he owed money or nothing. I'm not saying that. But with suicide, you know, I think people hang themselves in jail. And you just think, wow, said, you know, I always looked at, I'd never let the system beat me. So the last thing I would do is do that. And, you know, I had another good pal that I met in jail. He was given a 33-year. I'd be 75 before we can get parole. And you just think, wow. I met so many interesting and amazing people. There was a guy that we used to call Shaky. So he had Parkinson's. So
Right,
I don't know his real name, but he preferred to be called Shaky because obviously he's shaked. He must have been about 66. He'd been in all his life, and it was, you know, I had to hold my chin up to him. The reason why he ended up with his crime, and you know, I wouldn't have faulted him. I don't want to talk about his crime because it's not for me to say. Don't get me wrong, but you know, he was protecting a family member. So, you know, every credit to him. He was 30 something years down the line. He could still smile because he protected one of the closest people to his family. And, you know, every credit to him. But seeing him when there, and he would probably never see the outside again, you would think, wow. You know, it hits home. When I was in YOs, young kids were getting 20, 15 years, 25 years. And then there was other lads that they used to say it was the 10th time in jail. I think, mate, he said, do you not want nothing else apart from a prison door? So when that was happening, then I ended up back on my other charge. You know, I had my starting point was a 15-year myself. And I thought, wow, so this is my life. I don't want this no more. For a crime that I didn't do, I was helping a friend out. You know, I had a private security firm. You know, I didn't care who paid me. It was putting money on my table. If someone wanted to protect me, wanted me to protect them, I would. So I went around protecting this young lad. At court, I was given a not guilty. So I thought, you know what? This is the time for me to get out and put everything that I've been saying for the last couple of years into solid perspective and show that I can do this. You know, there's people that's not spoke to me for years. They just knew I was in jail. Then they come out to hear that I've got a business. I'm doing well for myself. Some people hate on the fact that I'm doing well. Some people, you know, that happens in the criminal world as well. You know, people think
that happens in any world. People hate that you're doing something because it makes them realize that they're not, and they don't like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like crabs in a bucket, isn't it? Like a crab trying to escape the bucket, all the other crabs will bring the crab back down. They won't let it escape.
Yeah.
And that's how people think. And it's not just in the criminal world. It's, you know, it's in my world. It's in anybody's world. People don't want you to be as successful as them because it makes them feel like they're not doing anything and they don't like it. So, you know, you'll get that wherever you go. Like, I'm lucky I don't have a lot of friends. So my friends, my business partners, you know what I mean? So I don't get that as much because I've always kept it to myself. So, but yeah, a lot of people do get that.
It's like, you know, I speak to a lot. When I go home, I hardly I only tell certain people I'm going home because it's awkward because, you know, I went to a pub to see one of our friends that we went to school with, who our sponsor in his boxing. I travelled I think it was like nearly a 5-hour drive round trip to go and watch him fight. Then I drove back home that night after I seen him fight. And I came and seen him. There was a few of the other lads in the pub, and they were all trying to pass me everything. Well, my missus was there, and I felt so bad for my missus. My missus don't drink, she don't smoke. She, you know, she's straight. She's got a good job. She's never been in trouble in her life. I don't have a clue what she's doing with me because I'm the complete opposite. But they say opposites attract.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess they do in some sort of way. Some girls do like the, the bad boy type guy, don't they? Like, it's.
Of course, it's like we'll be walking down the street. Yeah, God's honest truth. She'll be walking with my little girl's 6 weeks old today, Amani, and she'll be walking down with a pram, and I'll just start like sparring with her. And while she's walking, she's like, "Listen, get off me! What you doing?" And it's a rare thing for to find your soulmate especially when I was in my life. I've sorted my life out. My daughter's come at the right time. I knew that the life that I wanted to get at, I'm starting to get there now.
Yeah. So that came after the not guilty charge, and that sort of woke you up to saying like, shit, I could have had 15 years, and that was like your sort of second chance. Is that how it felt? And then this is when you started doing the fitness thing, and you got your level 3 PT.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I mean, let's talk about business now then, because we talked about the past and that. Because for me, like, obviously I didn't go to jail or anything, but business was like a big turning point for me in my life as well. Because like the first time I went PT and I was in a commercial gym, I went broke. Like I didn't get any clients. I was just paying rent in this gym, and then I sort of quit the fitness industry altogether. And I ended up jumping from job to job with no passion or purpose. I ended up working security 80 hours a week, nights. So I didn't see family, I didn't see friends or anything. And then I became sort of depressed. I let my health slip away and all this. And then like, I was like, for me, I was like, something needs to change because, I'm just working to die here. I'm not seeing friends, I'm not seeing family or whatever. And then like, I was like, I need to get back into fitness. And I was like, I've got no motivation to do it myself because I'm working 80 hours a week. Nice, I'm just tired. So I hired a coach who's now my business partner. And like, it was like going back into fitness that turned my life back around. You know what I mean? Like, and then finding business again, like, and it gave me this purpose and passion again. So, how has business helped you and, staying like on the straight and narrow sort of thing?
So, like, at the minute, because my business is so fresh and it doesn't produce a livable lifestyle yet, I'll go to work. I do a labouring job in a city centre. I'll labour all week, and then every spare bit of money that I have at the end of the week, I'll throw into my business. And I've noticed that the minute that I ended up putting just a little rant video on my fitness Instagram page. There was so many people that wanted to help me, but they wanted money, to get so many followers, to get so many likes and all this. I'm like, after trying it, I just think it was all a con. I thought, nah, for me to do it myself and get my own followers and all likes up, I know that they're there for me. They want to look at my workouts. I put some heavy fitness training in there, and it's not something that you normally see every day. So that just for instance, there's one 160 kg deadlift burpee, and you say that, you think, nah, that's mad. That's crazy. You won't see no one doing that. I'm whacking out 160 kg deadlift burpee, 100 sets, 100 reps, sets of 10. A piece of piss. And it's good that people coming to me in the gym, they listen, so we've never seen kids lift that weight in here and lift it how you're doing it. It's a good thing. So I thought, what? I like the attention again. If I could teach someone, I'm a type 1 diabetic, so my blood glucose level is very important to me. I was doing, I took it on a whim with my my bloods for years, and then when I was fitness training, it would bring me down, and my blood glucose to be stable-ish. So then, you know, I was getting my all natural. I was doing that weight natural. I was doing 220 squat natural, 160 bench natural, 210 deadlift. And it's like, when you know you can do it and you see people do it, it's a good feeling, because you're like, you know what, I'm proud of myself. And then people want to know how you do it. So I could walk into any gym. I'll just train how I would normally train. And, people would look over. And one of my good friends today who trains in the gym with me, I met him. He was struggling doing shoulders, it was, in a pure gym. So I offered to help him. And, he's never been in trouble in his life. And I feel good, and I like to talk to him, because I don't have to worry about no one saying nothing dodgy or anything else, if you get what I mean. So we'll go to work, we'll go to the gym. I would say a way to train, and he wouldn't even second guess it, because he'd look at my shape and he would just automatically want to do it. And then I say to him now, we take it in turns, like, oh, what do you want to do? Or do you have anything for the fitness? The fitness is mad crazy, that we just come up with little, I learnt my ways when I was in prison. So I adapt them into the outside world. So, anyone who wants to train with me can train with me. They only have to ask. Or I'm getting messages in my DMs like, oh, you know what, you're in sick shape, you mate, fair play. So then I decided to look at competing. So that's what I'm going to do next year. I was going to do it this year, but with the gyms closing, I have to put it a year back. But it's killing me. It's killing me with no gym. I've lost about 1.5 stone. I've lost strength. I've lost size. And I think my bird's sick of me looking past a door window. And I'm trying to look at myself like, oh, God, look how much weight I've lost. My missus waking up saying, oh, do you think I've lost weight? And she's like, shut up.
I've seen your Instagram photos as well of you asking the same thing, sort of thing, like, saying how much weight you've lost. But, the good thing for you is majority of us are all in the same boat, so you're still bigger than most, so you don't need to worry. Because if you've lost size, we've lost size as well, so don't worry too much about it. Everyone's in the same boat.
I lose sleep over it at night, me. I sit there like, oh, nah, there's going to be another stone I'm going to lose till
that'll be why you lose
the gym.
That'll be why you're losing so much size then, mate, because sleep's one of the only times where the body releases human growth hormone. So you need your sleep.
100%, mate. 100%. I say that to people. When I was eating 6 times a day, I got into my routine of eating in prison. So I wake up, I'd have my oats, I'd have my 2 eggs. Lunchtime, I'd have a tuna sandwich with another bowl of oats. Tea time, I'd have some rice with some chicken that was in there. Then 9 o'clock, I would eat some oats again with a protein shake or 2 eggs. I was spending so much money in prison, and I spend so much money outside. There's a lot of time, effort, and cost that goes into the shape that you want to get into, what you want to be looked into. I'm a brand ambassador now for a protein that, it's a good protein. I use it now. And it's crazy, mate, that you use all this money. People want me to be brand ambassadors for everything, but they want me to pay a lot of money to be seen in the stuff. And, I've sent a message explaining my background and how I want to help people. And the proteins, chemical warfare, cracking protein, cracking pre-workout. And they turned around and said, you know what, I appreciate your honesty and your background. we would love to work with you. So I signed the contract, and we could only see what that brings, because I'm looking at getting my own protein, but that's later on in life. I don't want to do everything just now. You know, I've spent hundreds on my clothing, what we briefly talked about. You know, I know what people on the street and in the gym would like to wear. So, you know, I said to you on the phone call, I could spend 100 grand on my business if it was a flop. But if I put 100% into it, I could hold my head up high. Like, all right, okay, I had my own business. The first time I've ever run a business. You know, I had an accountant wanting to charge me £200 for telling him I've not made a penny. I'm like, nah, you know, I ain't gonna pay you £200, mate. Are you crazy? It's, you know, people are just asked about taking money off you. So
yeah, I mean, that's their business, though, isn't it? I mean, like, so what is your business plan at the moment? Because you said you're not making money. Is it just personal training at the moment? Or...
So, yeah, so I'm looking to do the personal training. Eventually, I want to open my own gym. You know, I want to do it once I've built my company up. So I'm in the minute, while obviously money's tight, so everything's set everything back about 100 miles an hour at the minute. I'm about to get my all my clothing that I've got designed and ideated. I'm gonna get that sampled. I'm gonna get my website built, and then put the order in for everything. I'm having a lot of interest through my clothing, you know, all up and down the country. Once, after a couple of years, if I can build the company up with the clothing as well, I want to go to that high street where people go in and buy big name brands. You know, that's what I want. I don't want to just be just some kid on the estate that does a little bit of personal training, that does a little bit of clothing that's not the best. You know, if I have to pay over a bit more for good quality, professionally made products, I want that, because if I'm not feeling right, or I feel and believe in my products, then how am I expected for someone else to feel good in my products? So it's taken a lot of time and effort, but I believe I'm going to get there. And, you know, it could be 12 months, it could be 18 months, but, you know, it doesn't matter how long it takes. When I started promoting, like I promote the boxers and the MMA fighters, you know, they're going to wear my branding, was going to get it out there as well. You know, I've got a lot of good friends that's willing enough to train my boxers who, funny enough, I met him in prison, and his dad is one of the biggest and good coaches around Blackpool that trains a big former boxer. I can't say his name, but at the minute it's, you know, it's looking good. I've got so many people willing to put the time and effort in to help me. I can't thank every one of them enough. You know, there's a former UFC fighter who he's gave me even the time to even reply to my message of him willing enough to help me. And I can't thank him enough. I can't wait for us to start working together. You know, I'm hoping to get all these people to bring, so people want me to sponsor him, just for them to give him their knowledge, their experience. You know, the same with personal training. When this is over, I'll be doing fitness sessions in the park where it's safe, where it's, you know, anyone can come, regardless what you come into the session for. If it's to lose weight, to gain weight, to get a bit healthier, just to, you know, I don't care what your background is. I don't care what you do for a living. if you want to take on board that I'm doing, you know, I'll happily give you my time and energy into getting you to where you want to be. And that, you know, that's the right. You know, I go into gyms, I sign the membership. You don't see no one walking about. You don't see no one talking to you, and you just think, wow, there's no, you know, they're just asked now that they've got you in that palm because they've took your money. They're just asked about getting the people in. And there's, you know, the gym that I train at now is one of the best gyms I could honestly say I've ever trained in. You know, from gyms out here to gyms in prison. And I always tell people, say, listen, come here for a gym session. You cannot beat it. And that's going to be one of my big competitors, that the gym that I'm talking about. But, you know, I can walk in there and I talk to the people that work there. You know, they don't shy away from you. You know, I walk in, I sign in, and he's asking, you know, he's talking to me like he's a mate. He just doesn't say, oh, all right, you know, and then once you've signed in, you know, you don't say nothing to him. You know, I can go to one of them that works there and say, listen, can you film me training? And they're like, yeah, give me 2 seconds. Let me just finish what I'm doing. I'll come over. And he'll come over straight away. You know, I follow him on Instagram. He follows me on both my accounts. And, you know, it's a good relationship and working relationship with someone. It's hard to come and hard to find at the minute. You know, I could open a gym and people could come in. And I looked at one gym, I won't name the name, and he said, I mentioned to him, I'm looking at opening a gym. And he was like, oh, you won't do well round here. You won't do well. Nah, there's no point wasting your money. But then 20 minutes later, he was asking me to buy his his equipment off him. I'm like, mate, I said, why would I pay you when you were telling me I wouldn't do well in a gym? You know, you're just sat doing nothing while people are coming in. You know, the gym's half dead as it is. So you've got to do what you've got to do. But, you know, I'm not about that life, mate. I'm not going to feed you my hard-earned money if you cannot be asked to give me the even the get up and go to do what I've got to do. You know, you're making me jump. I'm hoping that I'll fall at the first hurdle. You know, that's not a good business to show.
Yeah, so, I mean, with commercial gyms, obviously it's like it's very, very competitive. So he probably doesn't want another gym to open up because, like, in I think it's all over the country. Gyms are popping up left, right, and centre, especially commercial ones. So, you know, I'm guessing they don't want, because there isn't that much profit in it if you think about it. You know, where every gym's a cheap budget gyms now, you could $9.99 a month for gym memberships or something crazy. You know what I mean? So, like, the profit margins are going to be very slim. So they probably just don't want another commercial gym anyway, you know, to pop up. And, you know, I don't know whether you thought about pricing and how much it's going to cost for you to do all that, because I'm guessing this is far down the line anyway, right? Yeah, so obviously there's a lot to think about in that sort of thing. You know, but yeah, going back to your clothing, so, like, you know, the things that you could be doing now, have you thought about what you could be doing now to sort of, you know, when you do launch and you do order your products, you're not just sitting on, like, however much grand's worth of stock. Like, I know you've got your sponsors and, you know, you're doing your samples and that, but have you thought about, like, how that's going to affect that launch day? Because, you know, having mates and a few sponsors, it won't, you know, it won't sell straight away. It'll take some momentum. So have you thought about the things you could be doing in the meantime to start promoting that?
Yeah, there's, like, the first set of samples that I had, I put on my Instagram. You know, I'm always telling people, I'm showing them as well. You know, if someone wanted, you know, one of my mates, he wanted one of my tracksuits. And when I took him the first from the first company, it just wasn't up to, you know, it's not a tracksuit you would buy out of JJB. JD, sorry, not JJB.
JJB's not open anymore.
I
No
know.
one's buying tracksuits from them.
That's how long I've been away. You know, I forget all the stores that I've shut down. So, you know, my clothing is something. If you went into a JD, it would be that sort of standard clothing. So, you know, it's good quality. It's right for the type of you know, the type of fitness that you want to do. So the certain exercise, you'll feel comfortable in it. Mm-hmm. Because there's ones when I get tops and you don't feel comfortable in training in it.
Yeah, I bought a pair of shorts a couple of weeks ago and they're tight as hell. So, you know, I don't like squatting in them just in case they rip.
Yeah, it's, you know, you've got to have the right, don't get me wrong, I've had years to think about this. So it's not like I'm going out to work and then I'm trying to get a quick 20 minutes in of thinking how to build my business. You know, I've got this set plan in my mind. I know exactly how I'm going to run it. I know exactly the ways to go down it to do it. And I know exactly how I've got to do it to get it. So, you know, there's a lot of people, even you turn around and said, instead of getting bespoke gym clothing, get one what's easy to get off the shelf. But then when I've gone into other gyms, that's what they're having. So, you know, a tracksuit, you know, there's ones that they're making all the time in a factory. And that's what some gyms get. And it's not, you know, it's not the best. It's not like a tracksuit that I would wear. Going back to, you know, if I don't feel comfortable in my clothing, how am I expected to get you or someone else to buy my clothing? You know, if I don't feel comfortable in it, no one else is going to feel comfortable in it. This is why I'm spending so much money to get it right. And then I know once I've got it right, that's going to take my whole time and effort that I've put into it will pay off. And then, you know what, I can give myself a pat on the back because I'm like, you know what, all this when people were saying it's, nah, do it this way, do it that way. And I've took on board what they've said, don't get me wrong, because I appreciate every bit of advice and help that they're giving me. But because I've got that drive to exactly how I want my business, I could go, you know what, I've done it. And I've done it my way, how I exactly planned it. So if people seen me wearing it all the time, so when my clothing's done, that's all you'll ever see me in. I'll wake up, I'll put my clothing on. I'll go to sleep and put my clothing on. You know, I'll eat in it. You'll always see me in my clothing because that's what I represent. So then the more my business grows, the more the website becomes known as well. It will kick off. You know, it's nice clothing that I've got designed. It's not just the bog standard gym clothes. So I'm pretty confident. I don't know if it's me being naive or me setting my drive that I'm failing to see what could go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like, the passion's definitely there, but, like, obviously I've been in business for quite a few years now, and I've had ideas that haven't come through whatever the word is, fruition or whatever, you know, and this and that. So, like, the question I was sort of asking you was, like, 'cause I don't want you to get to launch day, having spent all this time, money in, and then, like, you know, only a few of your mates order it, and then you have to give a shipments to your sponsors. So the question I was sort of asking was, have you got a plan to, like, you know, once everything's ready, you're ready to go, you know, like, to have a database of customers already lined up was the question, like, because I don't think you thought about the marketing side of things and just how important it is. Because, like, no offense, but wearing your clothes isn't going to get you know, it's not going to make you rich. You might sell a tracksuit or two, but like, you know, what you want to do is on launch day is sell out. You know what I mean? You want to be profitable, don't you? You don't want to be sitting on stock. So like, question was, have you? So like, there are things that you can be doing now, you know, to be generating that database. So like, you know, have you heard of email marketing before and stuff like this? It's like you could be building
Nah,
an
you know, don't get me wrong, like, I've never ran a business before, so I'm learning everything as I go along. So don't get me wrong, everything's trial and error. So, you know, for me to, I'll learn as I go along, and then I could take on board that, oh, this is my plan, but it's going to be better and beneficial to go down this way to do it that way. So, you know, I've still got a lot to put in and a lot of work to put in till launch date. I'm not 100% sure when the launch date is going to be yet, because I need to make the money through my previous job to put all in. So I'm not like rushing nothing. You know, I've just been given a big bill for what it's going to cost, and it's achievable. So I don't mind. You know, I'll put the hours in work. I'll put the overtime in work, so I can get the money to help me to launch it. And then once it's launched, there's a few things I'm going to look at going down. I just don't know the right way to go about it just yet.
Okay, do you want to elaborate on that, and maybe I can give some advice or my 2 cents? Or
yeah, of course. So there's always them, you know, the companies on Facebook and Instagram that help you build your business. That you know, I can advertise. I'm going to advertise on eBay, Facebook Market, Instagram, the website once it's built. It's going to cost me a lot of money to build the website, but I want the website to be one that it's worth going on. It's not worth just one click. And then, you know, there's a lot of companies that I've been on when they've tried to get me this ambassador role, and I'd have one click on it and I'd never go back to it again. You know, I don't want that personally. So there's going to be diet plans on there. There's going to be one-to-one online training that I do know you do yourself. Do you know what I mean? So anything to bring the customers in. You know, I'll have an email set up where it's going to be, even if they've got a question they want to ask, they don't have to feel embarrassed. They don't have to feel ashamed of the reason why they're asking that. You know, they can ask me and they'll get the honest response and honest reply. And then they'll feel, you know, if it makes them feel better, if they're struggling to get to a weight that they want to get to, or lift, or anything, you know, the message will come straight through to my phone. So then I can reply there and then. So they're not waiting. You know, I send the emails to companies. I wait in weeks for them to get back to me. So then, you know, they can see the drive and the determination for them to look into my company. Then they'll see my products, and then they'll take, you know, they'll be willing enough to take the products and use them themselves. You know, I can only drive and get people to wear them and advertise them. I'm looking at doing billboards with my company, my everything. I don't care what the price is to get it out there. You know, I'm willing enough to put every way to put it in. You know, the YouTube channel, I'm gonna set that up once everything's ready to go. What'll be, even if it's my training session, I'll film a training session from start to finish, so people can take an insight into how I train. You know, what I eat. I post photos of my daily food when I go to work. I'm always getting in trouble for me eating in work, but it's a big life. You've got to document, and documenting it right will is expose the right word I'm looking for?
Yeah, you want exposure.
You know, any publicity is good publicity. So I don't shy away from my background. You know, I've done all this hard work and time and effort. If someone wants to take that on and, and say, you know what, fair play to you, that's going to bring the customer in as well. Because it's got a story to the reason why I've got to it. And I've done the products, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You used a few sentences over and over again there that you kept saying when it's ready. So like, I want to get to the point, like, what I'm trying to say is you shouldn't be waiting until you're ready to launch to then start marketing. Like, I think you should be marketing now, especially the clothing, and building like an email database. And then, I don't know, maybe in the meantime, just do some affiliate marketing where you're selling other people's products just to make some extra cash, which should help cover the marketing costs. But then, over time, you're going to generate like this email database. And once you've got your products and you've spent however much it is to get them made and stuff, you're like, we're ready. You can order them here. And you've got 10, 15,000 emails to go to send out your products already. And then you start generating orders on day one, instead of waiting until you're ready. And then, like, right, well, now I've got to market it. And then you're spending money on marketing and et cetera, and you're slowly getting these leads in, and these sales are slowly coming through, if any, for months at a time, when you could be doing this now. And then say if it takes 12 months for you to get the clothing out, but you've got 12 months of advertising and building this customer database. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
And like your YouTube channel as well, like you're training now, or you've got videos of you training, you can use this video, whatever, you can be building that YouTube video now, that YouTube channel now. And then over time, because like, I get it, like, we think like, I've done it before myself, like we think, oh, I'll do this and it will automatically generate customers. It will automatically generate, we'll get thousands of followers. Algorithms change, things change. It never works the way we think it's going to in the head. As much as I hate to say that, because, I get loads of crazy ideas, but like, it never comes into like the way we play it out. So like my advice to you, especially with the clothing, if you're going to order a big bulk of stock at once, is start marketing now and start doing the YouTube channel now, because over time you'll start building that following, and then when you are ready to launch, you've got a customer base to go to as well, and you're not leaving yourself in the red. You know what I mean?
No, of course, 100%. I take on board and I respect that you've gave me, that insight, and I am gonna, when we come off this phone, I'm gonna ask you more about it. The best way to go about it.
Ask me now if you want, mate.
And then once I've got that, it's gonna help. Because when I email people, it depends what I'm mailing about, but I'll say the reason why I'm there, what I'm doing, what my plan is. And then, I don't know how to send it to all them other, we'll talk more off here how to do that.
Yeah. Because the systems that you can use, we'll just keep it that the systems that you can use and generate the list, and then you can send one email out to however many's in that list. So, there is software out
Oh,
you know,
okay,
which
okay.
is, yeah. So there is like that. And like, you know, you've got a very interesting backstory, which is why I wanted to jump on this call with you anyway.
Mm.
It's like, you know, you've been to prison, but you've turned it around, and now you're thinking about this entrepreneur. So you've got a lot to talk about, and it's quite
Mm.
interesting, you know, but like, even when it comes to clothing, you can put like other people's products and sell them in the meantime, and you get a little bit of profit out of it. You know what I mean? Because they're paying you to sell, they're giving you commission to sell their products. So
Mm.
like, even though it's not your brand, but it's still your email list that you're generating, that company can't take that away from you, if that makes sense. So you'll always have that list with you, and then when your clothing's ready, it's like, boom, here's how to order. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you can keep them involved in the process as well. Like, this is what I'm designing. What do you think? And
Yeah.
then,
You know,
you know, these are your potential customers, and they'll be like, oh, it looks good, but I don't like this. Can you? And, you know, you'll get that insight from your whole list or whoever
customer
emails back,
feedback.
customer feedback. Because, like, it's all good saying, like, yeah, I know what I'll wear. Because, like, I've done it myself. We've tried clothing. Like, and it's all good saying what we'll wear, but then it's like, once we've launched, it's like, oh, shit, our customers aren't wearing it. Our customers haven't
Mm.
bought it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I've got it in the room, but I spent weeks creating this journal, created two actually, that people can use. Like, I spent weeks doing it thinking, oh, this will sell, this will sell. It didn't. You know what I mean?
It's
So it's keeping your customers involved in the journey as well. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm
So,
definitely gonna look into that email thing, and I'll talk to you more about doing that. Because I appreciate you. You know, because I've never done nothing like this before. It's all literally it. You know, it's all mad to me. Oh, you could do it this way. I sit there thinking, how do people do that? And then with that little bit of help and experience off another person, it's, you know, I can use that to help me.
yeah, I mean, the thing with business, I know you're quite new to it, but it's always changing. So you always need to be like learning and getting new
Mm.
insights. Like, because like obviously with this COVID thing, the fitness industry changed overnight, and it's all gone online now. So like,
Mm.
you know, we had to adapt quickly. We had to, what the fuck do we do now? Because our gym's closed. You know what I mean? So we had to go online and get like put these programs up. So we had to learn the software. You know, we had to record the videos quickly. You know, we've been working our asses off straight for the past 3 weeks, recording all these videos and these programs to get it online. You know, so that we've got something to give to our customers who are still with us. You know what I mean? And then like once this is over, the industry's going to change again. This is coming from the personal training gym side of thing. You know, and like, you know, we don't know whether people are going to want to go back into gyms, you know, with like air conditioning and, you know, people, we don't know how this COVID is going to affect how people interact with people after this, do we? So it can go one of two ways. People are going to avoid the gyms, or everyone's going to want to get healthier. So like, you know, there might be a gym boom after this where people just want in gyms, which would be good for personal trainers. But, you know, like it's business, it can always change. And like with clothing as well, like yourself, you mentioned earlier on in the call that, you know, you want to get it into like the retail stores. But like, if you look at a lot of the big fitness brands now, you've got like what My Protein, Pursue Fitness, Gymshark, and all. These are all online. They don't have stores. You know what I mean? It's like the industry,
Mm.
clothing industry's changed, and like, you know, every industry constantly changes. So you always need to be learning, which is the fun part, but it's also a pain in the ass as well because you think, yes, I've got it, this is working, and then like it just changes overnight. Especially with advertising as well. Like, you know, like a couple of years ago, if you spent £10 on a Facebook ad, you could generate a shitload of leads, you know, emails and customers and that. Now, if you spend £10, you barely get anything back from it. And it's like,
Mm.
you know, so it's always changing.
Nah, of course, 100%. It's, you know, it's all trial and error with me. So it's, you know, I'm gonna learn as I go along, and then, you know, I'll have to see where I get. But I'm gonna definitely look into what you've mentioned tomorrow. Soon as I'm up tomorrow, I'm gonna look into all that.
Yeah. Do you read books? Because like a lot of help for me has been reading books because I never used to read, but then like when my business partner recommended a book to me, that changed my whole concept look on business. He wasn't my business partner at the time, but because of that book, it sort of helped us become partners as well. So do you read or do you listen to books or?
Last time I read a book was when I was in jail.
Okay.
And by the time, see, the thing with books, is I'd read the top of it. By the time I've got to the bottom of it, I'll forget what the top says. So I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it takes time to Yeah, I'm the same because I'm reading like this big ass book at the moment, but I forget what it is. So I like to read multiple books on the same topic. It reinforces it. But like everyone learns differently. But reading's definitely been a big part of like changing my life. But even if you don't read, you can listen to audiobooks now. Right, but like you get loads of cool insights from them. So like for the sake of the video, I'll give some good recommendations and I'll send it over to you in a text as well. So like in terms of like e-commerce and marketing, you've got I can't remember the name of it now. You've got it's called .com Secrets. Now that's all about how to generate leads online, like generating emails that we talked about, and how to send emails out. And then the next book by the same guy is called Expert Secrets, which is about how to, put your knowledge and get it in front of the customers. So the first one teaches you all about the marketing, and the next one teaches you how to broadcast your story, which would probably be interesting to you if you can listen to it or read it, because it's got pictures in as well, which helps. I like to look at pictures. But yeah, so like those two books alone will change like how you think about marketing your business. So I'll definitely start with them.
Nah, 100%. I'm going to definitely look into it, mate, because there's like at the minute, I'll with my coursework, I've got to have the right mindset to do it, because when I'm doing it and I'm doing other stuff with it, it just doesn't sit or lie into what I'm doing. I'll do it, and I just, if I don't concentrate, it's going through one ear and out the other. So it's like tomorrow I'm gonna have a good sit down for a good couple of hours and have a good look at everything and what's the best. If it's me listening to it and it's gonna, I could just put my headphones in and listen to it and read it. If reading's gonna as well as listening to it, it's going in one way or another. And if it helps me take it on board and for my company to be successful, it's worth everything to do.
No, it is. I second that, because like I never used to read. I used to think reading was for losers. Like I used to say, no, I can't read. And when I first started reading, I used to read a paragraph and then pick up my phone and play Facebook for 2 hours and read another paragraph. And it took me like 4, 5, 6 months to finish a book. But like once I got into the habit of it and doing it over and over again, like I can honestly say, if I could go back to myself in primary school, I'd say, listen, Dick, I'd pick up a book, read it. It's cool as fuck.
100%.
It changes your life, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, if you can, I'd definitely get your head stuck into a few books.
Of course, 100%, mate. It's that is on the plan for tomorrow. I'm gonna have a look at it all, see what's best to do, and then we'll take it from there. Hopefully, it'll go in and sink in.
Yeah, hopefully, man. But if not, there's other ways to get the information as well. So, like talking on this call obviously helped you. Like I'm always on the phone. Well, I'm not, but you can always speak to me whenever I'm.
I've got your number, so I could always drop you a message, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I think we should wrap up now because we're talking for about an hour or so. So we'll wrap it up now. But, I'm open to obviously do another one of these in the future, and maybe get my business partner on the line as well, Tin, and because he's got some stories as well, cool stories.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So wrap it up there, mate. It's good to speak to you again.
Yeah, of course. It was good speaking to you, seeing you, mate. It's been a very long time.
Yeah, it has, mate. I'm going to stop recording now.